I mean, I'm in space. I'm in space. Oh man, I'm in space.
So we all want to watch Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, but what if we tell you that Marvel won't even have an Avengers Secret Wars movie unless one very specific hero steps up? This is the character who could calm everything down, neutralize walking weapons like Sentry, and even help defeat Doctor Doom while also figuring out who is pulling Doom's strings in the first place. In the comics, it's the Beyonder who kicks all of this off, but the MCU might have another name in mind to play a central role, Blue Marvel. And that brings us to the real question, why this forgotten hero may be the key to Secret Wars. Who is Blue Marvel? His real name is Adam Brashear, and Marvel built his origin in a way that mirrors characters like Sentry. He was always a forgotten hero, someone explained away with clever backstory tricks that let him exist in the Marvel timeline without showing up in big stories until much later. Brashear served in the U.S. military before a dangerous scientific experiment involving antimatter changed his life forever. That experiment hurled him into the negative zone, leaving both him and his friend Connor Sims, also known as Anti-Man, with powers that put them among Marvel's most dangerous heavy hitters. Blue Marvel isn't just some side character with a fancy name either. He's basically a living antimatter reactor with strength on par with Hulk and Sentry, while also having a brain sharp enough to go toe-to-toe with Reed Richards. Imagine someone who can rip a submarine apart with his bare hands, send Sentry into orbit with one punch, and hold back an antimatter wave that could destroy the planet. That's what Adam Brashear brings to the table. He's tanked nukes, flown through space unprotected, and even fought beings that count as cosmic gods. So he's not just a brute force hero, he's a genius, a leader, and one of Marvel's most overlooked legends. And if we take a look at Marvel's 2015 Secret War storyline, Blue Marvel was right in the middle of it. During the Last Days arc, he fought alongside the mighty Avengers against the Illuminati. After the fight, he actually called out Mr. Fantastic and Black Panther, accusing them of leaving other heroes out of critical decisions. He argued that if everyone had worked together, maybe the multiversal crisis could have been prevented. That kind of leadership and perspective matters, especially in a movie like Secret Wars, where unity might be the only way to hold everything together. His later appearances in Marvel Comics only built his legend. As part of the Ultimates, he went on missions involving Galactus and Exospace, facing enemies like Ant-Man all over again. He even had emotional stakes when his own son convinced him not to kill Ant-Man, which gave Adam more depth than just being a powerhouse. Blue Marvel's stories mix raw cosmic action with personal struggles, which makes him feel like a hero tailor-made for the big screen. Marvel Studios execs have already hinted at wanting him in the MCU. Nate Moore, who's been part of shaping Phases 4 and 5, publicly said he'd love to bring in Blue Marvel. And it makes sense, because Marvel has been steadily building a new Avengers lineup, with heroes like Shang-Chi, America Chavez, Joaquin Torres as Falcon, and Kate Bishop as Hawkeye. The MCU has room for another cornerstone figure. Adding Blue Marvel would give the team someone who's as strong as Superman, but with his own unique backstory and struggles. And here's where his origin becomes especially interesting. In his first big run, Adam Brashear fought in the Korean War, earned medals, and later became a decorated scientist. But in a battle, his mask was ripped off, and people realized he was a black superhero operating during the Civil Rights era. That reveal scared the government so much that even John F. Kennedy himself asked him to retire to avoid sparking unrest. It's a tragic but powerful twist that explains why such a powerhouse of a hero went under the radar for so long. And if Marvel decides to bring him into the MCU, that angle could give his story real emotional weight, mixing superhero spectacle with social commentary. Now, when you think about Secret Wars, Blue Marvel suddenly feels like the missing piece, because while Doctor Doom and the Beyonder are massive forces in the comics, Marvel might need a balancing figure in the films, someone powerful enough to stand alongside or even against them while still being relatable and human. Blue Marvel can fill that gap. He has the raw power to counter Doom's schemes and the Beyonder's manipulations, but he also has the brains and the leadership skills to unify heroes who otherwise wouldn't see eye to eye. And it doesn't hurt that Marvel has been leaning heavily into cosmic stories lately. With projects like The Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and even the hints about Galactus, Blue Marvel feels like a perfect addition. He's basically Marvel's version of Superman, but with a unique twist. He's a black man whose story is grounded in both science fiction and real-world history. That makes him more layered than just another invincible character. Imagine the possibilities if Blue Marvel joins the MCU before or during Avengers Doomsday. He could be introduced as a hidden figure from Marvel's past, someone who was forced into retirement but finally steps out because the multiverse crisis is too big to ignore. He could clash with Doctor Doom, question the Beyonders' motives, and even stand shoulder to shoulder with newer Avengers like Sam Wilson's Captain America. That kind of story would not only give fans the spectacle they want, but also introduce them to a hero who deserves the spotlight after being overlooked for decades. And Marvel loves to bring in characters who challenge the balance of power. Just look at how they've used Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, and Loki to shake up dynamics. Blue Marvel could do the same, except on a much bigger stage. His antimatter abilities, scientific knowledge, and sheer determination would make him a wild card in the middle of Secret Wars, which is exactly what Marvel needs to keep audiences guessing. So when we talk about Secret Wars and who might be the real key to solving the chaos, it's worth looking past the obvious choices like Doom or the Beyonder. Blue Marvel could be that hero, the one who tips the scales, keeps Earth's mightiest heroes from falling apart, and maybe even prevents the multiverse from collapsing entirely. Because in a story this big, you need more than just familiar faces. You need someone powerful, smart, and ready to take on the impossible. Marvel has a bunch of options for how to bring him in. They could explore his hidden past in a Disney Plus series, tie him into Fantastic Four's Negative Zone storyline, or just drop him straight into Avengers Doomsday as the game-changing surprise. However they do it, Blue Marvel feels like a natural fit for the direction the MCU is heading. So even though the Beyonder will likely still be the one who ignites the chaos of Secret Wars, Adam Brashear could be the unexpected anchor holding it all together. And if Marvel decides to finally unleash Blue Marvel, fans might just walk away from Secret Wars talking less about Doom or even the Beyonder, and more about how a long-forgotten hero stole the show. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon and other exciting upcoming movies and series. We'll see you next time.